Hi everyone, it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning on Christmas Day, so yeah, I didn't check in with you yesterday because I just let time get away from me. I watched some Vlogmas videos, I did my nails, so I finally put on my Christmas T-Rex nail wraps. I meant to do this a couple weeks ago, but just let time get away from me. So I now have my nails done, which is nice. The middle finger on this side actually has a T-Rex on it. So yeah, I picked those nail wraps up like at the beginning of this year and held on to them for this time of the year. So finally got those on. And I'm enjoying them quite a bit. And then we played a few hours of Genshin Impact, my daughter and I, and that was fun. We watched the Muppets Christmas Carol, which is a family tradition every Christmas Eve. Usually late enough until, so that when it ends, it's Christmas Day. We watched it a little bit early this year. And so, yeah, we had dinner, we watched the Muppets Christmas Carol, and then we're just like winding down for the night right now. So I thought that I would do my like final check-in for like the Vlogmas part, and share with you my last yarn advent packages, as well as some other yarny acquisitions that I got and a gift that I received. So let's get into the yarn advent first. So this was the one I was supposed to open for Christmas Eve. So let's see what our second to the last villain is. Okay, so our villain is Mother Gothel from Tangled 2010. And the skein looks like this. Very nice. Another tonal. This is a nice, rich, like berry color. So, yeah, I'm really, really loving that one. So that's Mother Gothel. And then I have one more. So let's see who our final villain is. Final villain is Prince Hans of the Southern Isles from Frozen 2013. And the skein looks like this. Very much the Frozen colors. That is gorgeous. So, yes. Final villain, Prince Hans of the Southern Isles. I really, really like that skein. Oh, so gorgeous. Okay, so that is all of the yarn advent stuff for right now. I did get some other yarn, so I got my Kindred Spirits skein. So I do subscribe to a yarn club from Little Skein and the Big Wool. It is a yarn club that is inspired by Anne of Green Gables. So all of the colorways are inspired by Anne. And this is just a lovely, lovely skein. It's so my color. This is on her cashmere blend. So she recently, within the last couple months, made a change to the base that we were getting. And so we're now getting a cashmere base, which is a 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon, 400 yards, 115 grams. The colorway is Winter at Queens, inspired by Anne of Green Gables. So she always tells you which book the colorway is inspired by. And yes, this is definitely one of my favorites. That icy blue with the turquoise speckles. It's just gorgeous. So I'm very, very happy with that. I think this is like my second or third year with the Kindred Spirits Club. And I've just really, really enjoyed seeing all of the skeins and the inspiration. And she sends out a little newsletter that tells you what she pulled inspiration from and specific scenes and or things like that. And I just really, really enjoy it. So yes, very happy with this skein. And then I also got a Christmas Eve cast-on set. So obviously I didn't do it for Christmas Eve, but I could not resist. So this was the Light the Lamp, Not the Rat sock set, Christmas cast-on set. And so it has these two skeins and has some other goodies. So let me take it out of the bag and let me share those with you. Okay, so this is the skeins. It is a full skein and a mini for contrast. This is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards, 200 or 100 grams. The main color, which is this brown tonal with the red speckles, is Light the Lamp, Not the Rat, and the coordinating skein is I'm Just Here for the Food. So, very much based on Rizzo and the Muppets Christmas Carol. And so not only did we get that, we got a little snack. So it's a stroopwafel from Three Brothers Dutch Cookies in classic caramel. That'll be lovely. Got a bag of one of my favorite teas. This is Twinings Peppermint Cheer. I really, really enjoy this one. I actually have some already, so I'm glad to have another bag. And then we got some stitch markers. So this one here says Light the Lamp, Not the Rat. And this one is just a snowflake. So yes, really enjoyed that. And that wasn't it. We also got this like thermal cup that says Light the Lamp, Not the Rat. And it's got a caricature of Rizzo. And so yeah, that is so fun. So I was very happy with this little package. And it also came with a free download code for a pattern from Dana Ray Makes, I believe, called I'm Here for the Food. So yes, I've already downloaded that pattern, which was designed with this yarn set. Not sure that I'm going to want to use this yarn set for that though. But yeah, we'll see. So yes, had to get this because like I said, Muppets Christmas Carol is a family tradition to watch on Christmas Eve. So that was my Christmas cast-on set that I received and didn't use. And then I received a gift from a friend, so let me grab that real fast. So my really nice friend, Amy over at A Star Reads, sent me these two books for Christmas, and I could not be more thankful. So this is Reflection, A Twisted Tale from Elizabeth Lim. This is one of those Disney twisted tales. What if Mulan had to travel to the underworld? So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And then she also got me Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. And I've been really intrigued to read this one as well. So I am so happy with these. Thank you so much, Amy. If you haven't checked out Amy's channel, you need to go do so. She does really great reading vlogs. She's doing a advent calendar project. I always forget what it's called. It's like the Christmas 12 Days of Christmas Carol Advent Calendar Project. I think that's what it's called. But I will link her down in the description box below. And yeah, so definitely go check her out. I really, really have been enjoying her channel. And I'm so glad that we have become friends this year. Just so that you know, I will be doing a buddy read with Amy sometime in 2023. And we will be buddy reading Crescent City. So this is actually an advanced reader's copy that I have. But I do have a copy of the audiobook as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to reading this with Amy. We both have not read Sarah J. Maas before, so it'll be really interesting to discuss this book with her. I'm really, really looking forward to it. So you will definitely be seeing me talk about this book on my channel in 2023. And yeah, so very, very excited. It is quite thick, but I hear this book reads pretty quick, as do most of Sarah J. Maas's work, I think. But yes, I think I will be reading a lot of paranormal fantasy, I guess is what this is, in 2023, because there are a few other series that are on my immediate radar that I've been wanting to dive into. And so, yes, very excited for this. So like I said, I will link Amy down in the description box below. Definitely go check her out. I'm sure she has amazing projects lined up for 2023 as well. And she also helps co-host a read-along group called the Bookstar Read-Alongs. And they are reading the Bone Season next year, which I believe I will probably try to get in on as well, if I can find the time to do so. So I'm really going to try. They're actually starting in March, I think, which is March Mystery Madness. I'm not sure if the Bone Season can be considered a mystery book. I have to look more into it, because you know that I like to participate in March Mystery Madness, and I have helped host it for several years in a row now. Yeah, I definitely want to at least read the Bone Season and see what I think, because I do have it. So yeah, again, thank you so much, Amy, for these 2 books, and I'm really thankful that we have become friends this year, and I can't wait to read Crescent City with you and get to know you even better. So I think that's all I have to share with you for right now. My filming schedule is a little bit out of whack because of how Christmas fell this year. But you will probably not see this on the normal day that I post my diary entries. I'm probably just going to extend it a little bit because I am getting back into my manga advent calendar selections. So now that the Monochrome Manga Club selections have been read and discussed, I'm getting back to the manga advent selections. And so I read Cat Massage Therapy Volume 3 last night, and I plan to jump into Persona tonight. So yes, I definitely want to get some more of the manga advent selections done. And yeah, so I will probably extend this out to next Saturday probably, and then post this on January 4th. Is that right? Everything's going to be pushed back. We'll just take it as it comes, and I'll eventually get back on track with my posting schedule. But yes, it has been a nice relaxing day. Tomorrow, again, nice and relaxing. We don't do family get-togethers because my immediate family lives in Hawaii. So I do intend on having a phone conversation with my brother and my nieces tomorrow. My dad will probably just text because that's what we've done the last few years. And he has several family get-togethers to go to. So, yes, it's always busy for him. But, yeah, nothing much to do. Just nice and relaxing. Probably going to play some more Genshin Impact, I'm not going to lie. Maybe I'll get in another Christmas movie and some knitting, but we'll see. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for you today. I hope you're all having an amazing holiday season, and whatever you are doing, whether you're celebrating the holiday or just having a nice, peaceful, relaxing time, I hope that you're enjoying what you're doing, and I will chat with you later. Hi everyone, it is Saturday, December 31st. So I haven't checked in with you in quite a while, and to be honest, I kind of needed the break. So I did include a couple clips before of the last few days of my yarn advent calendar, so that was really good, and then I just kind of like didn't film at all. So that largely has to do with the fact that my filming day is usually Saturday, and so like last Saturday was Christmas Eve, and I just didn't want to film on Christmas Eve. I don't ever want my channel, to feel like a job that I'm not getting paid for, because once that happens, I'm not going to want to continue to do this. So I took the break. It's fine. I mean, there's a lot more to catch you up in this one right now, but you know, I enjoyed the little bit of time off I had from filming. It, I think, is something that I needed, because I have throughout 2022 have been posting more videos, and so yeah, it was just nice to have a little bit of a break. There really is not much happening in my life. I mean, you can pretty much tell from my other Vlogmas videos that, you know, my life is pretty mundane. I mean, I don't really go out. I pretty much work, watch television, maybe do some knitting, do a little bit of reading, and that's pretty much my life. So yeah, let me get into what I have read, because there's quite a few volumes to talk to you about, and then we'll go into some knitting. We'll do a little bit of what I've been watching, a little Christmas gift to share, and then maybe we'll do a little bit of chat at the end. So let's get into it. Volume 3 of Cat Massage Therapy. So I think when I talked to you last, I had finished Volume 2. So this was the other book that was in that package, or present. I always say package. Present. This one was a bit thicker than Volume 2, so it kind of made me concerned that maybe this would be the last one of the series, but it doesn't say final volume. So we'll see. Cat Massage Therapy is by Haru Hisakawa, published by 7 Seas, rated ages 10 plus. So this basically follows a cat massage parlor where these cats give massages to humans. And we follow a bunch of office workers who have started to really enjoy getting these massages from these meowsers. And so, yes, we've gotten some new kitties in previous volumes. In this one, there wasn't a new kitty, but I really, really enjoyed this. There's not much substance to this series, to be honest. It's just really, really cute. And, you know, raised toe beans on the cover. I especially like this kitty, the manager, my favorite. But yeah, there's actually some competition that moves in next door from a group of dog massagers. And so, yeah, we get to see some dogs in here. Really, really cute volume. I absolutely love this one. I gave this one 5 stars. By pure enjoyment. Pure enjoyment. Then, my next 2 volumes were Persona 3, volumes 1 and 2. This
is in French on the cover. So I got really concerned because these I bought for my daughter. And so I pretty much just purchased them and then gave them to her. I never looked at them. And so when I had opened it and saw that it was French on the cover, I freaked out a little bit. But inside and on the back is in English. So this one is by Shuji Sogabe and Atlus, part of that Persona franchise video game series published by Udon. This does not have an age rating on it, but I would have to say this is probably older teen, just based on some of the themes that we have going on in Persona franchises in general. I have watched my daughter play a few of the games, not all the way through, but here and there when she's been playing, I've sat down and watched. And I have seen the Persona 4 anime, but I have never really watched Persona 3, her gameplay through that. She's talked to me about it, but that's pretty much all I know of this particular series. So I was really excited that she actually put this in my manga advent calendar, because it's something that I've been thinking about exploring for a while, these Persona mangas. It is a mystery, thriller type stories. All of the Persona stories are, I believe. And so, yes, in this one, we follow this guy, I think. I don't remember his name. His name is Minato Arisato. My daughter is whispering to me behind there. And he ends up moving to town, has to start a new school. Kind of how all of the Persona ones happen. You got a character that moves into town, starts new at the school, and he ends up having to dorm. And so he ends up dorming in this special dorm. And in this world, at a certain time of night, which they call the dark hour, all of the people around actually turn into coffins. And anybody who hasn't turned into a coffin becomes prey for these monsters. And our character is one of those people who doesn't turn into a coffin, but also is kind of not aware of what's going on until he gets taught about it by some of the people that he lives with. And so the people that he lives with also turn out to be other people who do not turn into coffins during this dark hour. And they are able to bring out what's called a persona from themselves. And these personas are what helps them fight these monsters. And so that's kind of the basic gist of all Persona series, from what I gather, is that our characters, our main group of characters that we follow, will always be able to bring out personas from themselves and then use those personas to fight the bad guys. I think that's pretty much a common thing throughout all of the series, even though the storylines involve different things. And so I'm not quite sure yet what this one involves, because it's still really early in the series and he's just kind of figured out his ability and how to pull it out of him. And I think this one has a kind of a dungeon type theme where they have to go into this building and then clear the floors type thing. It's very much like a video game. So yeah, I found it interesting. I will say that I was a little bit confused in the first volume. Second volume, things are made more clear because we get another character where things are explained to them. And so that helped me understand what was going on. The art in this, though, during the fight scenes, I'm having a hard time seeing what's going on. I've talked about this with you before where sometimes I have a hard time deciphering what's going on in a panel in fight scenes. And in this particular one, because we're dealing with the dark hour, the fight scene panels are very dark. There's lots of shading. And so it makes it difficult for me as a reader to see what is being done during those fight scenes because there's just a lot of darkness. Other than that, I enjoyed what I read. I'm definitely going to be continuing. I will have to say, though, that there's probably a trigger warning I would have to put on this, because the way that these characters pull the personas out of themselves is by shooting themselves in the head with a specialized gun. So you actually see these characters bring the guns up to their heads and shoot themselves. But these guns have no bullets. They're just a way to pull the persona out. But I can understand how a visual like that could be traumatizing to somebody. So I am mentioning that to you now. I don't have any issues with that right now. But like I said, I'm still very early into this. I think there's 11 or 13 volumes, so there's still quite a bit to go. I really, really enjoyed what I've read so far, and I do like the art style. This publication is really nice because you've got the French flaps. So if I open it up here, you can see. So this is our main character here, and you've got the flaps. So I really, really like the publication as well. I just wish the fight panels weren't as dark. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one. I gave them both 4 stars. So that was that. And then after I finished reading Persona, I took a break from reading my manga advent calendar mangas because I had to read the Monochrome Manga Club selections. So the Monochrome Manga Club selections were Villains Are Destined to Die. This is by Suol, original story by Guan Gyo-ul, published by Issei Press, rated teen. And The Geek X Hitman by Kodai. This one's published by Yen Press, rated teen. So I actually just filmed my series first impressions video on these 2 volumes. So that will be linked down in the description box below in case you're interested in hearing my thoughts on that. So I'm not going to wrap that up for you right now, but I will talk to you about the other Monochrome Manga Club selections. So those were Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, volumes 11 and 12, and Sailor Moon, volume 9. So let's start off with Demon Slayer. I really enjoyed this. I gave both of them 5 stars. That's how much I'm enjoying the series. This volume 11, ends the battle that was in volume 12, or volume 10. Like I said before, it kind of ended in the middle of a fight, and so we get the conclusion of that fight here in volume 11. And then in volume 12, we follow Tanjiro trying to strengthen himself. And I feel like this series is a lot of that. Like, we get a really, like, big fight scene, and then we get some, like, training, and then we get a fight scene, and then we get more training, and kind of thing, which is fine. I much prefer, like, when he's on missions and things, rather than seeing him, like, train up. Because I feel like I really don't need to, like, see that. I don't know. For me, it doesn't really add to the story. At least not at this point. I think we're about halfway through, almost, at this point. But I'm still really enjoying it. We are watching the anime. We are on episode 9, I think. So we're not even close to where we are in the manga. But watching the anime is definitely very entertaining. I'm really, really enjoying that. And, you know, all of the colors just add a lot to my enjoyment. So even more than what I've been enjoying so far in this series, when it comes to, like, the fight scenes and stuff with the anime, the addition of the color just makes everything so much more vibrant, and the fight scenes are just so much more interesting. Even though they were already interesting in the black and white, in the anime, I'm really, really enjoying that addition of the color and the movement. And so, yes, really, really enjoyed those. And then Sailor Moon, Volume 9. I was mediocre about this. It was okay. It's probably better than the ones that I've read most recently because there wasn't any, like, incestuous references, but Usagi is still very much a whiner. And I just want to kick her butt. But there's also a lot more of, like, scenes of Mamoru and Usagi kissing in this one. And I'm not really interested in them as a couple. I've told you this before. I'm not into this for the romantic relationship stuff. I enjoy the fight scenes. I enjoy seeing what kinds of characters they go up with. We get some new characters in here. A group of 3 people that I find interesting. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm like on the minority on this series because I still can't understand why this is so popular. I just can't do it. But on the bright side, I thought we had 3 more volumes to go with this, and we actually only have 1. So I only have to read Sailor Moon 1 more time, and then I will be done. So we'll be doing that in January. And to say that I'm looking forward to finishing this series, I think you all know how I feel. So that was that one. I love those publications. They're beautiful publications. The story inside's not so good. Laughing Under the Clouds, volumes 2 and 3. So this follows a group of brothers, 3 brothers, who ferry criminals to Gokumonjo, which is a prison that is situated in the middle of a lake. And so the first volume we read from Monochrome Manga Club, I was a little bit confused because the beginning portion of that volume followed the 3 brothers in present time doing, their thing. And then the second half of the volume was historical. It followed their ancestors. And it kind of confused me. I didn't know where the series was going to go. If in the next volume we were going to continue with the historical portion, or if we're just going to be following these 3 brothers. And so in these 2 volumes, we do follow the 3 brothers in present time. And I will say, volume 3, there is no laughing under the clouds. For me, volume 3 was very emotional. I'm kind of confused because of what happens. And I can't even tell you because it would be a huge spoiler. But I will say that I did really, really enjoy these 2 volumes. I do have 1 more volume on my shelf. I will read that one and then figure out if I can see where this is going to go, because there are some things about our brothers that I'm not enjoying. And I still am having a hard time putting together what exactly we're supposed to be following in this series, because it just seems like there's a bunch of different things going on. And the central thing that we're following are these 3 brothers and doing their jobs, and how that kind of gets them into other things, into other types of trouble. Because obviously they're dealing with criminals, right? So, yeah. I did enjoy these 2 volumes. I gave them both 4 stars. I will be continuing. If you're interested in reading this series and have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, this is on Kindle Unlimited right now, just so that you know. I found that out when I went to go log these on Goodreads. So, yes, I enjoyed these. I do love the art style. I just wish I could figure out what the main thing that we are going to be following is, because I feel like this is very fractured other than following the brothers doing their job. So yeah, I'm interested to see what my daughter thinks when she reads those volumes, because I need somebody to talk to about them. And then the last thing I finished for my manga advent calendar project was Yakuza Lover. So my daughter had put this one in my manga advent calendar project because I need to decide what I'm going to do with the series. So I have already read volume 1, so she had put it in there, not knowing whether I wanted to reread it before going into volume 2. I did end up deciding to reread it. And I still felt the same. It's about a 3.5-star read for me. And this basically follows a girl who meets a Yakuza underboss at a bar after having a bad experience with some rowdy attendees at the bar. And then she becomes kind of infatuated with him, and they kind of like fall into lust at first sight kind of thing. Volume 1 didn't have enough story for me. And so I was like hoping that there would be story in volume 2, like make me believe that this couple actually feels something for each other. And the second installment definitely brings in story, because Yuri, our female character, gets kidnapped by another like mobster. And so there's definitely something there, but there's still a lot of bed scenes. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. So I still don't feel like their romance is believable. Like, I believe the lustfulness, obviously. But I don't believe, like, when they tell each other that they love them, I don't believe it. Because how could you? It doesn't make sense for me. I cannot believe that they have that type of feeling for each other when I don't think they could even tell you what each other's favorite color is. So I'm not sure what to do with this series. Our female character here is trying to grow as a character. She makes those attempts in volume 2. She wants to prove to the world that she deserves to be by Oya's side. But she's still very young. Like, I think she's only 20. I know Oya's supposed to be older than her, but I don't believe they've said what the age gap is. So, yeah. I'm kind of feeling lukewarm on this series right now. I still really love the art style. This mangaka does something in the way that she draws Yuri's eyes, which kind of makes it just look like pools of water. And I find that so interesting, especially because a lot of times when we get Yuri in just a panel with just her face, her eyes are just so huge. So there's a lot of detail in that illustration. But the story's not that great. I know they're coming out with a live action adaptation, which I'm intrigued about because of the content that's in here. I'm curious to know what they're going to do with it. Typically, when watching a live action adaptation of a series, I have enjoyed the live action adaptation more because it pulls out more story. You can't like have a TV show on a series like this with the content that's in these 2 volumes not be pornographic, if you know what I mean. So there's got to be story somewhere in the series. There has to be, if it's been greenlighted for a live action series. Yeah, I don't know. I am not convinced on their romance. Like I said, I'm not convinced of Oya's ferocity as an underboss. We see him make the verbal threats. There are some scenes where he gets physical with people. but we don't ever see the aftermath of what he's done. And I think that's why I'm not finding it believable, because it's not shown to us. We're not even like really told what he's done. Like, for example, to the person who has kidnapped Yuri in Volume 2. The other thing with Oya is the fact that there are panels in both of these volumes where he is like surprised, whether it be something that Yuri has said or something she has done, and he has a surprised look on his face or is shocked by something she said or done. The way he's drawn makes him look like a dork. I mean, he looks adorable in those panels, but I cannot tell myself that this is a ferocious Yakuza underboss. So, yeah, I mean, I'm having a lot of disconnect with this series. I don't know what to do. There's a lot of bed scenes. I wish there was more story. I typically give series 3 volumes before I fully decide what I'm going to do. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to do something different with my manga purchasing in 2023, so I don't know. Maybe I will pick up volume 3. I don't know. I mean, it's okay. It's not bad. It's just not great. So, yeah. That's how I feel about that right now. I mean, volume 2 was also really thin. If you look at the size difference, volume 1 is much thicker than volume 2. So, yeah. Both of these were wrapped in plastic for good reason. Just so that you know. These are rated mature, published by Viz. But, yeah. I'm conflicted about this series. It was okay. I mean, pretty much a fluff read because, like I said, there was a lot of bed scenes. But yeah, that's everything that I've read since I talked to you last. Now, as far as what I'm currently reading, I picked this one up last night. So this is Yoramushi Pedal Volume 1 by Wataru Watanabe, published by Yen Press, rated teen. So this series, like I mentioned before, follows a high school bicycling club. And we follow our main character here, Onoda Sakamichi, and he is starting at high school. He's super excited to join the anime club, only to find out that the anime club has been disbanded because of a lack of members. So he, at the beginning of the series, is on a mission to gather 5 people so that they can reopen the anime club. But little does he know that he has caught the eye of a classmate, because Onoda, on day 1, was riding his bicycle up the rear entrance of the school, which has quite a steep slope. And he's like going along merrily on his way, singing, which, if you know, bicycling or even like running, walking up a steep slope takes a lot of energy. And Onoda's just doing it effortlessly. And so this kind of leads him to his first friendship in high school with a guy named Imaizumi. And Imaizumi is already going to be joining the bicycle club. He bicycles competitively and has already turned in his form to join the bicycle club. And he ends up recruiting Onoda. And Onoda starts to go on this journey of growth and friendship that he never really had experienced before. And so, yeah, I really, really enjoy the anime of this story. It's one that we've watched several times. We are, in fact, in the middle of a rewatch and really, really enjoyed it. Now, I will say, the art style in this is confusing me. So I've not read much. I've only read this much. Onoda is recognizable for sure, but a lot of the characters that I've seen on these first couple pages, they don't look familiar. So, for example, Mickey, I think that's her name, Mickey. She is going to become the manager for the bicycle club. She looks vastly different from her animated self. So, yeah. So far, story is still the same. I am really enjoying it. But having the characters drawn so differently is also taking time to, like, decipher for me. So, it's interesting. It's an interesting experience to see characters that I thought I knew so well, but am like looking at panels, I'm like, they look very different. But yes, I have no doubt that I'm going to really enjoy this. I don't think that I'm going to be able to finish the rest of this before the end of the year. But this will be my first finish read for 2023. So I'm really looking forward to it. So that's what I'm currently reading. So that's everything as far as my reading goes. I should probably get into my Christmas gift because it is kind of a book. So let's do that now. My mom, for Christmas, got me The Princess Bride, the official cookbook. I love The Princess Bride. I haven't actually read the original, but we've watched the movie several times. And in this cookbook, there are pictures, like from the movie, and there are lots of quotes and like parts of the screenplay, like, you know, the dialogue between the characters and stuff. And then you also have the recipes, and the recipes correlate to something, some scene or a character from this movie. And so it's really, really interesting to look through. I haven't actually read through it all, but see, like, this is Farm Boy Breakfast, and you've got Wesley on this side. And so, yes, I really, really enjoyed, like, what I've seen so far when I was flipping through it. And so, yes, that's what my mom got me for Christmas. And yeah, so I guess we'll get into some knitting right now. I guess I should tell you what I'm wearing since it is knitting related. This is my snowflake sweater that I knit, 3 years ago, I think. It's all in Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted yarn. I had gotten the pattern for it out of a magazine that I borrowed from Kindle Unlimited. So, yes. I really, really like this sweater. It is a bottom-up construction, which was different for me. So that was a little bit strange because you do the body and then you do the sleeves and then attach it and then do the rest of this. It also has a fold-over neckline, which is something that I hadn't done before. But I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. It is one of the sweaters that I've knitted that I wear the most, and it kind of does need to be pilled a little bit. I'm seeing a little bit of pilling, but it does have color work on the wrists as well as the bottom of the sweater, and then the yoke. Everything else is just blue. So yes, that's knitting. And then my bag is here. So my Advent project. So I knew I was going to get hung up, as I did. I didn't do much knitting at all. This is my Advent calendar in the Pineapple Yarns mini skeins from 2018. And I've actually knit on this quite a bit since I talked to you last. So I've got this much done. So I think I'm on the 5th color, so day 5. And so when I talked to you last, I was like in here somewhere. So I've done about this much. Of course, I did not put in a progress keeper. Bad, bad, bad. But that's okay. And so I finished all of my increases, and I'm just working down the yoke. This is getting all bunched up. I'm just working down the yoke part until it's long enough to split for the sleeves, which should be when I finish color 5. I'm going to have to measure for sure, but I think it's going to be after I finish color 5, and then I'll split for the sleeves. And so, yeah, so far I'm really enjoying this. It's been a nice thing to knit on while we watch television. I am knitting this English style, so that means I'm throwing. And English style, I can knit without having to look at my stitches. So, yeah, it's just been really nice and relaxing to knit on while I watch television. There are quite a few stitches on this right now. There are over 300, and because it's fingering weight yarn, you know, it's going slowly, but it is going. So I will definitely have this done sometime. But yeah, it's been really interesting to like finish a color and then go through and look for the next one, and just seeing how they're all like coming out. This is going to be very, very colorful. I'm sure you can tell already. Plus, just looking at the colors I have in here. But I think it's going to be really fun. So, yeah, that's where I am with that. And this is the color that I'm putting in right now. It's kind of like a corally reddish color. There are some darker speckles and stuff inside. So, yeah, I was hand winding these, but it ended up taking me so long to hand wind that I just started winding these on my yarn winder, and the skeins are much looser, but it made it a lot faster to wind and then get back into my project, because I don't want to wind them all beforehand, because I want to put them in on the day, you know, in the order of the days that I open them. So yeah, I'm enjoying this project a lot. We have been watching a series that cannot be named because people don't like it when you talk about that series. So that's what we've been watching. During Christmas, I could not bring myself to watch a Christmas romance. Just none of them were like hitting the mark for me. So we ended up watching Homicide for the Holidays, which is like a crime show about murders that happened during Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. I've actually been really enjoying that. So yeah, tonight, the last movie of the year that we will be watching is going to be Maverick, the Top Gun sequel. And so I'm looking forward to that. It's on Paramount Plus, I think. So yeah, that will be the last thing that we watch for the year. My mom's out getting Chinese food right now, so that is what we will be having for dinner. Typically, we do have Chinese food at the end of the year, and normally for like things like the anniversary of my grandfather's passing and things like that. Yeah, I did a lot of filming today because I was backed up because I took a couple weeks off, but that's okay. Videos will be a little bit delayed over January just to help me get caught up and, you know, do the end of the year type videos. But yeah, I'm feeling good right now. I'm on a extended weekend because we had a 4-day weekend from work. So I don't go back to work until January 3rd. So here's hoping that 2023 will be much better than 2022 has been. I hope you all have an amazing new year and that you have a wonderful year to come. And that will pretty much do it for me today. So let me know down in the comments below how you ended your 2022. Did you reach all of the goals that you had set for yourself at the beginning of the year? Are you making any New Year's resolutions? And what was your last read of 2022? I'd really love to know. If nothing else, and you'd just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me a rainy cloud emoji or something to do with rain, that would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out, because that's what the weather is like here. And I could not be happier. So that will do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.